What's up, everybody? This is Alex Christoforou from the Duran, and I'm here with Peter Lavelle, host of RT's CrossTalk. And today we're going to be talking about a soft coup against U.S. President Donald Trump. So, Peter, the topic is interesting, and I think it's very relevant as to what happened in Helsinki and the media meltdown, which we did a video previously on this after the summit. And it seems that the deep state is mobilizing even more aggressively, even quicker, to bring down Donald Trump. Do you think that we're seeing a soft coup start to pick up steam to take down this U.S. president?
I think so, and I'm not an alarmist person, okay? But the indictment that was given shortly before the Helsinki summit had nothing to do with the Donald Trump campaign. This should have been perceived by the Trump people as a victory. Trump stumbled, and an opening was created. Now, why am I saying this? Because the media is manufacturing consent now that something must be done. We hear the Constitution has to be done. We have to look for a new president. A very important phenomenon that's going on now is they're looking to pick off Republicans. Why? Well, you need enough people to write articles of impeachment. You need senators to vote on it. Lindsey Graham, John McCain, Jim Flake, Ben Sasse, I think you pronounce his name that way. They lost their majority.
Never Trumpers.
In the Senate. Okay, and what it is now is the media is the PR arm for the deep state, and they're promoting a radical, because this is a radical, important time. We have to act. We must act. Something must be done. I've been saying this for years on CrossTalk. You know, Libya, Syria, Serbia. Something must be done. Well, regime change has come home, America. It's come home, and it's the same actors. It's the deep state. It's the intelligence community, which Trump deigned to question. Well, we all should be questioning it. Did you watch Peter Strzok? Huh?
Yeah.
Do you need any more evidence? All right. What about Lisa Page? I want to see the transcript of what she has to say. See, this is why they're pushing it now, okay? Because this totalistic conspiracy theory, once it starts to crack, it crumbles completely. Right. All right. Now they're making a rush for the door. And this is very, very serious. The fact that Trump, unlike Trump, was contrite and gave us a grammar lecture, not his style, presumably, I'm told, and I'm not saying this is a fact, is that there was a lot of pressure in his circle. Some people said they were going to turn in their pink, ask for a pink slip. Okay, I don't know who those individuals are, but I think that does explain why we haven't heard a lot from the inner circle since the summit. What I'm saying is everything is falling into place, all right? And this is a very scary time for the Republic, because when people on national television use the word treason, traitor, treachery, change the Constitution, get a new president, then we know we're in very deep trouble. And the never-Trumpers within the Republican Party are defecting to the enemy. And you know what? They are the enemy. The media is the enemy. It's the enemy of American institutions and democracy. Who tried to change an election? The Russians? No evidence that I've been presented. Did the Democrats flip their primary? Ample evidence of that. Okay? Who's destroying institutions? Who's destroying belief in the democratic system? It's this deep state with liberals aligned with a boot-licking media, okay? This is a toxic mix, and they are colluding. That's the only collusion that I can find.
Yeah, and they're all coming together, and I mean, you can feel it and you can see it. And my question is, was it a mistake for Trump to have this summit with Putin?
No. What I said all along on my program, weeks in advance, is that I wanted to see it more structured, so there wouldn't be so many loopholes that one could evade, and it was an opening for the media. I think that was a mistake. I think that Donald Trump had to answer a bit better. I wrote the hours after the presser. He wasn't focused enough. He wasn't prepared. Okay, and he fell for it. When the president of the United States is meeting an important adversary, let's put it that way, in Helsinki, and he's talking about how many electoral votes he got in the election, pathetic, pathetic. All right, and people, the media, they smell it. Okay, now I'm not predicting doom and gloom. What I'm saying is there's a constellation of forces aligning right now, and it's a very dangerous time. There may be a push. Okay, now I just got out of the studio. You told me before we started this, there's talk of a second summit. Inform me, please.
Yes. Well, Trump tweeted that there might be a second summit coming up soon. So we're going to see another meltdown start to take place, because right when you see Trump walking back what he said about the summit, about what he said about the intelligence community and with Putin and all that stuff, he's now hitting back at them, saying, you know what, there's going to be a second summit. The summit in Helsinki was a great success. And all it's doing is fueling the fire of the aggressive nature of the media and the deep state.
No, but what this does is, I don't know, Alex, he's 500 something days into his administration. Yeah. Most of those days, he's been able to control the narrative with his Twitter. He's losing control of the narrative. Now he's reacting. Okay, that's a very big mistake. Very big. He should have been like Margaret Thatcher. I'm not going to apologize. I'm moving forward. I am the president of the United States, and I was duly elected. Yeah. Now, if we're going down this path and this constellation of forces are coming together, the people, the liberals on the coasts, as they always do, they forget about everybody in the middle. Yeah. That's where most of the guns are. I think you get my drift.
Let me read you that tweet. Let me read you that tweet, Peter. And I quote, "The summit with Russia was a great success, except with the real enemy of the people, the fake news media. I look forward to our second meeting so that we can start implementing some of the many things discussed, including stopping terrorism, security for Israel, nuclear proliferation, cyber attacks, trade, Ukraine, Middle East peace, North Korea, and more. There are many answers, some easy, some hard to these problems, but they can all be solved."
But this is wrong. It's a mistake. Now Trump gives the perception that he's going to meet Putin with hat in hand. Who's thinking of this stuff?
Who is thinking of this stuff? Is this Trump? Is this bad advice? Is this his inner circle steering him down a bad path on purpose? I mean, there's a lot of people inside his...
I think that you bring up a very interesting point, and something I was thinking about taking my Uber home from work, is that, does Bolton want this to fail?
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking House of Cards-like scenarios.
When he wakes up in the morning, what uniform does he put on? Huh? Is it NSC or is it the deep state? Okay, I think you get my point. I don't know. I don't want to go conjecture too much.
Right.
But second summit, huh? No, then you look like you're asking. It puts you in an inferior position. The mainstream media is going to go nuts again.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope this got to think this stuff through.
How does Trump get out of this? How does Trump get out of this now?
Talk about the wall. Okay. I'm serious. I mean, what he needs to say
campaign rally, run to his base.
But I mean, okay. Then maybe he comes out and says, "Look, I've said many times, it's been reported over and over again that we should have a better relationship with Russia." Well, apparently the political establishment, the swamp that I need to continue to drain, is dead set against it. The media doesn't want it. So let's move forward, okay? We'll have to put that one on the back burner, okay? I met the man. I went there. We had negotiations. It didn't get where I wanted the relationship to go. Maybe we'll try it again in my second term.
Yeah. Well, one of the worrying things I've been seeing on MSNBC, CNN, and a lot of the fake news channels is that they're digging even harder into Putin. I mean, it's getting to the point of dictator, the next Hitler, thug, He's the worst literally, wait. He's the personification of evil, according to these guys.
So this happened with Milosevic. This happened with Saddam Hussein. This happened with Gaddafi, Assad. See, I just said a few minutes ago, the regime change playbook that the U.S. and its allies have employed around the world for decades has come home.
Yeah. And on CNN, I heard
at home.
And on CNN, they announced, I don't know how reliable this is, it's CNN, that the intelligence community is now saying that they have proof that Vladimir Putin personally ordered the GRU hacking. It's reaching toxic, dangerous levels.
I've been saying for 2 years, and I will say it again. Can you show me some proof? See, this is a conspiracy without a crime, and there's no evidence. What, Paul Manafort's tax returns in 2006? Come on, you guys. Papadopoulos drunk in a bar, being set up.
How far will they take this, though? How far can they take this? Is this strictly just to remove Trump, or are they willing to take this all the way? Risk conflict.
They'll push. No, what they want is either war or find a mechanism of impeachment. The thing is what they're doing is, see, the bad actor in all of this is the deep state. Now, what they want to do is they want the deep state to take a move. Right. Okay, they want literally a coup. Okay, for the good of the nation. Congress will appoint a leader for an interim period of 3 months, and then we will have a new election. I'm serious. Okay, they'll have a government of national survival or something like that. They're not going to see. The thing is that they never back away, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't recalibrate. They just keep going in one direction. So logic would dictate over the last 2 years, this is where they want to go, because their fake conspiracy isn't coming to fruition. The last indictment actually is a vindication of the Trump campaign.
Explain that for our viewers.
Well, okay, all right. The conspiracy is that the Trump campaign and its satellites was hacked. Hacked the DC servers, okay, through the good services of the Russians. So and then the Russians, once they got it, they gave it to WikiLeaks. But the indictment says completely different. It says these officials, if it's even true, okay, because they'll never show up in court. If these GRU people, but they claim that they hacked servers and went through emails and stole. So I guess that's the solution. They found the solution how the WikiLeaks got all of this to leak, because the Russians did it directly. Okay, so but the indictment says that no American and no one in the Trump campaign was involved. So it's solved. In their world, it's solved. It was a leak, everybody. It was a leak. Okay, because if it was a hack, NSA would know it. It's simple. Yeah. But see, Mueller is trying to keep it going, and keeping the Russians as the boogeyman. They know these guys will never show up in court, so there'll be no discovery. All right. I mean, this is fake. It's a what is it called? A speaking indictment. It's a talking point.
It's a talking point.
So at the very moment, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to say, what happens if the Democrats do not do as well in the midterms as they're hoping for? How far can they ratchet this up?
I think they want this all done before the election. Yeah. Yeah.
And if they don't get what they want?
Look. I mean, the thing is that this is their gamble. This is their gambit. I said a couple minutes ago. They've forgotten the liberal media, the lying media, fake media, and the deep state. They're all aligned. I mean, they have all the same talking points. Who writes these things and sends them out? They have a really good chain of communication, don't they? But there's a lot of people in the heartland that are not going to go along with this. No way. And this is the danger. What happens if they try to force to remove him and then half the country says, but he's my president? What are you going to do then? Shut the internet down? What are you going to do then? Start seeking out the troublemakers? I mean, again, these people, their hatred blinds their logic. They don't, all of the stuff that they have released, Manafort, Papadopoulos, some kids in St. Petersburg, GRU guys that we'll never ever see. I mean, don't they see how ridiculous this whole thing is? All right, and the people in the heartland they're kind of like us. I mean, can you give me a flow chart of what you think it really happened, or recordings or pictures? I mean, some forensic evidence, because all they want is us to believe, and I don't. Okay, these are the wrong actors to believe. Their road record of deception and lies and corruption is legion. Okay, and it's all coming to a head now. Hillary Clinton wasn't supposed to lose. We're still not over that for them.
Not over that, yeah. I totally agree. That's what it all comes down to.
And a second, okay, well, absolutely, and that's one of the reasons during the campaign, during the period before the inauguration, they got really damn sloppy, okay? Sloppy. And it's all coming out in dribs and drabs. Because, well, of course, the FBI and the DOJ will not accept the oversight of Congress, okay? Congress should hold these justice officials in contempt. Trump needs to fire Jeff Sessions, a man very close to my heart intellectually and emotionally, but he needs to go. We need and fire Rod Rosenstein, and then I'll compromise. Make Horowitz the acting FBI director, because in this environment, I don't know if we can get one confirmed. But we got to start pulling out these really deep, evil, toxic roots. He needs to be proactive. And he's got the law on his side. He is the president of the United States. He has constitutional rights, privileges, okay? He's got to act. He's got to act decisively. And you know what, Alex? The media is going to hate him. So what? So what?
They're going to hate him. They're going to hate him no matter what he does. No matter what he does, they're going to hate him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that I don't know, I just have the sense after seeing the summit, after seeing him walk back what he said during the summit, it just seems like something has changed in his inner circle and the advice that he's getting. He doesn't seem as sure-footed and as confident as he was even 2 weeks ago.
The NBC interview he did, I'm not really into the body language thing or anything, but he looked and acted very differently, okay? I think he knows he suffered a strategic defeat, and it was self-inflicted, all right? Okay? Maybe, Alex, in all fairness, maybe there's really something out there that we don't know, okay? But my sense is there's no there out there, because it would have been leaked by now.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, from the election to the inauguration, we had a tsunami of leaks. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
And so, is it the inner circle? They're recalibrating, but this talk of a second summit, I have to wonder who thought about that. And if Trump thought about it, then he's losing his touch. I'm sorry, seriously, because the perception will be that he's coming in from a position of weakness. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's why it shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Finally, Peter, do you think this summit controversy, this attack on Trump over the summit, do you think this is going to hold for more than a few days until the next outrage continues? The next outrage comes up.
Trump needs, you know what he needs to do? You know what he needs to do? He's got to get back into the heartland. Get back into those stadiums. Okay? Get on message again.
Right.
Don't get bogged down in this stuff. He's got to go back to Duluth, go back to Fargo, and get the base wound up, okay?
You think he's going to do that?
He's got to do it, and he's got to do it now.
You think he's going to do that?
He better. He better. The reason why he's been able to stay so long is his direct connection with his base. Get back in touch.
Get back in touch. Yeah.
Get this Supreme Court justice on the bench. Okay, get back and try. I mean, I can't even believe we're having this conversation. We talked about he had a 10-day run that was unbelievable. Yeah. Even the mainstream idiots were saying he's on a run, he's on a streak. Get back on message. That's how you've been so successful. Get back on track.
And hit that domestic
policy
stuff. Yeah.
Don't ever say you're sorry. Not to these people, these despicable people that don't know. They couldn't tell the truth of it. They couldn't accept truth if it was forced down their mouths, okay? Yeah. They're antithetical to truth. They're ideologically possessed people. They are willing to have a war to get rid of Donald Trump. You belong in a psychiatric ward if you believe that. If you think that should happen.
They believe it. They believe it. There's no doubt about it. And then Trump, I don't care what he said during that summit. His mistake was when he apologized. To me, that was his big mistake. Not what he said at the summit. When he apologized. That's when he showed weakness, and you just can't show weakness with these guys. Not with the liberal left, the radical liberal left. You just can't do it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, Peter. I think this is hopefully this story blows over and Trump moves on and he hits his base and he goes to the heartland and he gets back on message. That's what I'm hoping for.
For the sake of world peace. Again, I always feel like I have to say this. I'm not a dyed-in-the-world Trumper. I'm not. Okay, I'm a policy guy. I'm into policy. All right, that's what I care. I want good immigration. I want the wall. I want to have America withdraw from all these useless wars. I want to cut defense spending. I want to go back to real values. Okay, and if he's the man that can get part of that agenda done, fine with me. Yeah, fine.
That's what he campaigned on, and we both have said it many times. You said it often that Trump is a man who goes down his checklist and he tries to fulfill those campaign promises. So hopefully he gets back to that checklist. Gets back to that checklist and starts ticking stuff off.
Or he's going to lose his presidency.
He's going to lose his presidency. Guys, that was an incredible conversation. Peter Lavelle, host of RT's CrossTalk. Thank you very much. Guys, if you like this video, click on the subscribe button down below. Click on that notification bell to get notifications every time we push out a new video. And don't forget, visit the Duran shop, pick up a t-shirt, help support the Duran. Until next time, take care.